I welcome you all in today's seminar on topic IBC a glance, organized by ASC Group. With this, we would like to begin with our first session on topic Bankers' Perspective on IBC. Mr. Deepak Maini shall be moderator for the session. Mr. Maini is a retired general manager from Punjab and Sindh Bank, is an insolvency professional and holds a degree in law. Mr. Maini, please join. As panelists for this session, we have with us Mr. Jitendra Joshi, GM IDBI Bank. Mr. Joshi has degree of BSc, ICWA, MBA and LLB. Our second panelist is Mr. Birender Singh Rana, DGM SBI Bank. Mr. Rana, please join us for the session. Our third panelist is Ms. Trina Tejaswani, DGM Law, IFCI. Trina, please join us.
Resolved, and so many accounts are yet to be resolved. Expectations are very high. So, is it the resolutions that makes us happy, or is it that expectations that we increasing expectations are not met or being met, that is making us a little thoughtful. So anyway, see, we have come a long way from when it started, when RBI gave a list of the accounts, first list wherein RBI advised banks to file them into CIRP. But if you see, there has been a lot of good work done in IBC, in CIRP, and so many good accounts, recoveries have happened, and which has come to the what bankers have expected, like in SR Steel, Binani Cement, and there are other accounts also wherein the people at large are not aware, but like in Odisha Slurry, the lenders were able to recover entire principal amount. So actually what has happened when this IBC came into light, so the law was there, but the evaluation of the law, the interpretation of the law has to come. So as the cases have progressed, many things have also got unfolded, and with this unfolding, many things have settled. Now there are issues that has got settled by the intervention of the courts, and by the way of amendments that have come forward. If you see any forum, and if you see the government, what the government is looking at, you will see definitely government is looking this IBC again to be a successful tool, and they are making certain amendments from time and again, so that whatever the impediments are coming or whatever the bottlenecks are coming, it can be overcome. Now, if you comparatively see IBC, but then besides IBC, the other tools were there, is still there. So it is not that the other tools have got vanished for recovery. Yes, IBC is there. I am of firm belief that, see, today we may be having certain set of problems with us, but these all are temporary problems which are going to be sorted out in the time to come. And to me, IBC has come a long way, and a long way to go. Not only the personal insolvency that has come, pre-pack that has come, now the creditor-led resolution approach is also coming, which is akin to the pre-pack for the corporate insolvency. So expectations, yes, because when something becomes successful, something becomes a tool which is giving result, our hopes also becomes high, and we also expect things to be very quicker, and the bankers' perspective that yes, the recoveries should come very fast. But to us, we know that IBC is not only a recovery, it's a resolution. So we are looking at the resolution of the company. Yes, quickness is required, and I think in times to come, we'll see a better IBC in place. Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
Can I add something?
Sure, sir. My request, please.
Yeah, I fully agree with Joshi sir. But if we look at the journey of IBC for last 7 years or 6 years so, if you look at those high value assets before pre-IBC, where lenders had exhausted all their efforts in bringing resolution by way of restructuring, either under serial mechanism, either under SDR, ASPORE or bilateral basis. Despite having restructured under many ways, still those stress accounts were with us. The silver line has come when IBC came into existence. As sir has rightly said, after IBC coming into picture, the first list of dirty dozens, where the exposures of lenders were more than 10,000 crores on one unit. And if you look at today, I think almost all those dirty dozens accounts got resolved under IBC with a change of hands. Second, as sir has rightly said, IBC is not a tool of recovery. It is basically the basic premise of IBC is resolution. Yes, in that process, lenders have got some pile, maybe depending upon not up to the expected level where we have bear the haircuts, but we have to see we should not compare with the outstanding or whatever admitted claims are there against the available security, because security is such a thing, it over the span of time, it gets deteriorated. So if we look at, yes, after IBC coming into existence, the high value debtors have these assets got resolved. Thank you.
Ma'am, anything on expectations?
I agree with whatever.
I agree with the views of Joshi ji and Rana ji. And as far as the expectation of bankers are concerned, as sir said that IBC is not a recovery mechanism, but all the bankers have their individual targets, and we always look at the targets only because that is on our minds. Even after the March quarter getting over, the new set of our KRAs and VARs, everything is based on what is the next target and what are the, how do you aim to recover that. So all said and done, practically speaking, we look forward to recovery only. And IBC, yes, was a silver lining when it came, and the first year was very good, and it was like, I think the recovery rate was 49 to 50%. And most of the good cases that all the bankers, including us, we had, we recovered with that. And now it has been plagued by the delays and what delays were faced by us earlier in other recovery mechanisms that we were doing. So yes, IBC has been good. Now it's a little slower, but yes, we hope that it becomes a little, more amendments come our way and it becomes a little faster so that we recover more, irrespective of whether it's not a recovery mechanism, but bankers have to recover. After all, it's public money. Thank you.
Keep holding the mic. The next question. Do you consider steep haircuts and elongated CIRP costs are the main reasons for bankers' displeasement with IBC?
Yes, definitely. Because as I said, in there are few matters in which we have been able to recover the principal, but it's only a handful. In most of the matter, even there have been steep haircuts, and needless to say that the CIRP cost has been really high, and we have to bear that, and that internally we have to face a lot of wrath from our seniors that we were not going to pay, and we we do not pay and then our RPs get orders from the NCLT to get it paid. So,
आप अपना गुस्सा आरपी पे निकालती हैं?
not Gusa sir, but that's the call of the management and not in person.
Right. Sir, आपके कुछ cost के ऊपर views हैं?
I'll share. See, what has happened that initially the bankers were having very large accounts, and still today also the large accounts, CIRP is a better way of resolution because there are so many stakeholders and the process has to be done. Now bankers over the period they have also seen that you have to distinguish that which class of asset has to be resolved through which mechanism. And perhaps today when we see that and sometimes I hear from the market and from my colleagues also in the other state CIPs that less number of CIPs are being filed by banks. But the reason is that the ticket size that is available with banks, so banks also consider what is the better way of recovery or resolution of this account. And when I say recovery or resolution are incidental to each other. When you resolve, incidentally you recover also. But if you recover incidentally, you may not resolve that account. So why I am saying, because when you recover something, you may still have those accounts with you. But when you resolve it, then you recover also and the account is now in the safe hands. Now, if coming to the cost wise, so I will like to clarify, many a times in many cases, what has happened now, everyone is cost conscious, like CIRP cost has to be. So, innovative ways have been found, like when this plan, suppose the resolution plan has been approved by COC, then the COC enters into dialogue with RP to have a reduction in the RP fees and other costs also. So unnecessary cost is actually avoidable and should be avoidable so that the overall resolution cost can be brought down. So, but I don't think that for just because there will be CIRP costs, so bankers are shying from filing it under CIRP. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Rana sir, anything on the cost?
Yes, actually, increase in cost basically dependent on the complexity of the case. Because many large ticket sites have manifold complexities, like legal issues and other issues. So definitely there will be an increase in cost. But as I said, wherever there are avenues where we can cut down the cost, definitely we should do. That starts from the RP. We will not agree.
The first.
Second is, it depends upon the ability of IRP or RP, because many issues, suppose getting information from the ex-directors and promoters and carrying out and this preparing for IM, if there is a delay in procuring all the information for preparing the information memoranda for the this EY. So definitely there is a delay, and there is some avoidable legal issues wherein we have seen that most of the, I am not alleging, but these are our experience. Most of the RPs are they are resorting on their legal counsels, so it increases the cost. So if there is a reasonableness, definitely you are agree, and mostly in those cases where there is a cash flow from the corporate debtors operations, lenders generally won't mind. But when it goes from our pocket, definitely there is a pain.
Appreciate your pain, sir. Rana sir, next question is addressed to you. What measures do you suggest for timely completion? Since most of the CIPs, of course, are delayed. Whatever
Yes.
Innovative solutions, because you hold, sir, you are from SBI and the largest lender. I'm sure you have more experiences, and you are also heading a big branch. Yeah.
Basically, I will bifurcate pre-CRP and post-CRP. Regarding timely completion, first, for pre-CRP, there is question of admittance of the moderator into NCLT. If it gets delayed, the cost of RP starts from that day. Second, after getting admitted into NCLT, again I said, with the ability of RP, then COC related matters, COC members matters. Many cases we have observed that the officers who have been attending or the COC are not or were not convergent with COC or IBC, and whenever there is a chance of voting or come with the mandate, generally they don't have that kind of mandate, or they don't have readily available mandate to vote the agenda. So there is always the chances that RP has to have give extended timelines for voting activity. So this has to be minimized. The third is implementation result plan. So there are a lot of impediments even after having voted in favor of the plan. So overall, if you look at, if we can reduce all these timelines, so definitely we can minimize the CIRP process here.
Joshi sir.
Yeah, see, I'll tell you, see, when the company we file for admission in CIRP, so one is that certain processes are not in our hand because the courts have to decide the matter. But still, so we bifurcate the matters into what is in our hand, what is not in our hand. But what is not in our hand, we also discuss with the lawyers that how it can be expedited the matter for admission. Now, once the matter gets admitted now, but before that, we formalize, we do a meeting or we do an internal discussion that what are the steps are we going to follow, what is the timeline schedule, because unless you have a timeline schedule before you, then you have to benchmark those timeline schedules. And you have to see maximum time we try to give to the expression of interest time and the submission of the resolution plan. And that is the area where we are interested, and that is the area that resolution applicant is also interested, and he may require some time to do the due diligence and give a plan. Now, as we say that a well conceived is well delivered. So when the resolution plan comes, so and the discussions are there, negotiations. So it is not only the commercial discussion that has to take place, but we have to do a implementation schedule discussion also, so that if this plan gets approved, then whether there will be hurdles in the implementation or it will be a smooth. So I remember the days when I was in the project appraisal. So one of my bosses, and it was very initial stage, told me, see, when you sanction, you have to see will it be disbursed on those sanction conditions, because there is no point in sanctioning a case if it gets stuck up, the disbursement gets stuck up. So you have to see that the entire process in totality has to sail through. So with this objective, each case has its own merits, and for each case you have to formalize a strategy. So just to share with the group, in one case myself, IDBI and SBI are the big lenders, and now this company is not into CIRP, and before that we have done one sitting, about 2-hour sitting, where we have chalked out the points, how we will run the process and what will be the tentative timeline and what we envisage to do. So we will progress on those timelines, and before the timeline says 70 days, 80 days, 90 days, but we envisage to meet the timelines in 40 days. That is what we have discussed. So this gives time, sir, for both of us to benchmark and to follow those timelines, and then the next, what is not in our hand, how to pursue those matters.
Actually, it is related to prepaid insolvency case actually. IDBI and SBI, they have that from the front, and this promoters also, they were very keen to revive the unit. And this is a classic case actually, and we and IDBI personally attended also NCLT hearings also. The honorable judges are very happy that this was the one of the, this is the first case which is going to be implemented.
My next question is little longer. It has some emotional touch also. It is case of home buyers. In CIRP of home buyers, bankers, in spite of investing huge funds in their projects and being major stakeholders, become minority voting right holders due to large number of home buyers being treated as class of creditors. The position of banker becomes vulnerable as the entire process is hijacked by the home buyers and bankers have to undergo steep haircuts. Now, are your internal emotions coming out when you are handling with the home buyers? Do you have a sympathy despite that you are losing them? So how do you handle such situations? Joshi sir.
No, see, first of all, we all are human beings. So, before we are a banker or we are a home buyer, we all are human beings. So, we can understand the pain that a person who has put all his money into one flat is not getting. So, how much pain that should be. And somehow, I am telling you, in the banking fraternity, this has also come down with the very first case, Jaiprakash Industries, wherein the interest of home buyers are getting aligned with the interest of the lenders. But this has made, I think, that all these IBC cases have made lenders wise as to see that in future what should be your lending types and what precautions one should take while lending, because tomorrow the same situation can come. Then how to be careful beforehand so that you don't end up like this. One is this. Second is this. See, when you are in a commercial organization, so emotions are not taken care of. That's true. But down the line, if because see, conflicts there are in other cases also, wherein there may be conflict between the lenders also as to first charge, second charge, or whatever. So it is not only home buyers and lenders where the interest can clash. The interest can clash in a case where only lenders are there. But lenders, somehow it has come very naturally that from Jaiprakash Industries that they and you have to abide by the law. So law has given them the status of financial creditors. But always the aim is to how to protect the interest of banks as well as also of the bankers.
Here I would
Okay, Rana sir.
yes, throw some light actually. When madam was also there. In the case of JP Inverted Limited, Honorable Supreme Court has given the order that, classic judgment that, before JP Inverted, the home buyers was classified as other creditors. When there was a change of IRP, so there the class of voting came into picture. Lenders, because of voting pattern, lenders are not able to change the IRP. Even if you see in judgment, in the case of JP Patel, there is always IRP, not RP. So, secondly, so after because of this, the home buyers were treated as a financial creditor as against other creditors. And again, the cash flow of assets which were financed by the banks, that is being utilized towards the completion of construction of house. This is a classic case where, as you said, that not only we are taking huge haircuts, but also the cash flows from the toll road projects are being utilized towards construction of flats and which are being delivered to home buyers. Here I would suggest that even when lenders are taking huge haircuts, their home buyers have to take also haircuts. So some leeway should be given to the lenders also. This is my suggestion.
So you remember that I used to say a lot, like not only home buyers, even FD holders should also be paid, and means lenders were okay, but then obviously means whatever the rule was, it was.
I remember, ma'am,
Yeah.
I was handling Jayaprakash Industries also in Bombay. And then whenever the stakeholder monitoring committee is taking place and home buyer AR will say something, lenders will say something, then finally one voice will come up, Manju ma'am, and she will always take care of the FD holders. I was very impressed by, because whatsoever, but to whom you are representing, you have to keep their case well before the authority.
Yeah. And they were always like, they used to call me, they will mail me, and they will say, ma'am, we are the same type of people. Matlab, obviously, the class of home buyers and the class of FD holders, they were literally the same type of people who were there. And they were like, सारा का सारा पैसा construction में लग रहा है, why can't we be paid? मतलब एक महीने के toll के collection से हमारी सबकी payments हो जाएंगी, मतलब like that, because 50-60 crores were coming in toll collection and nothing was happening for them. So they were like literally sad by the situation, and I couldn't do anything because they didn't have any say per se, because of their voting share. Yeah.
Trina ma'am, your experiences, I know IFCI has a lot of exposures.
Yes.
Your experiences against home buyers, and where are the emotions lying?
So as Joshi sir said, after all we are human beings, and our home buyers also, our officers are home buyers in different cases. We are personally involved also at some point or the other. So as far the emotions are concerned, yes, we do feel that hard-earned money of home buyers are stuck. So they should be paid, and they should be at par with the secured financial creditors. But it pinches us when the judgment that so was referring to Jayaprakash judgment came, and it held that the creditors who had mortgaged but did not have the guarantee will not be held as secure creditors, the financial creditors, they are only secure creditors. So that part was pinching us as lenders, where we have the mortgage, but since we do not have the guarantee, we are not the financial creditors and we are only a secure creditor, will not be in the COC. That part is still unanswered, and we are actually affected in many of our cases.
Joshi sir, we have many bankers amongst us. You had mentioned one point that you are taking a calculated call whether to go for IBC or to find alternative strategies. For the benefit of bankers present here, what can we have some little deeper thoughts on that? Like, what are the considerations which you take?
Yeah. After all, whatever money we have lent is mobilized from public money. So tomorrow I am answerable to all those public deposits. So incidentally, if some loans are not standard and they are substandard, but recovery has to be done. So whenever the account turns into substandard, so it is evaluated in all the forms that how we can get the money. So first is that can we discuss with promoter if he pays us back, or the questions can be enhanced, or some restructuring can be done. But to the bankers, the quickest method what I have seen is the one-time settlement or the negotiated settlement, which gives us the money in the quickest possible manner. So a strike has to be balanced, that when a proposal is being evaluated, then what is the haircut is coming and what is the timeline that is being looked into. Now second thing, over the period we have seen that in CIRP cases, normally the asset-based cases where the assets are there is fetching more value resolution price. So that also has to be taken care. And assignment of debt has again come up very strongly in the market now, wherein the recoveries are very good and very quick. So we have to see the asset size. Suppose there is a small asset but a lot of lenders are there, or we are a sole lender. So whatever best we can do by evaluating whether the account is fit for OTS or account is fit for assignment of debt, or there are assets and we can quickly do the surfacing and recover our money, or we can go to CIRP because there are certain issues, or the asset size is large, it's a manufacturing unit. So all these things, and last not the least, but DRT has also given us some good things, like in one big jewelry account. and we have moved to DRT, and so the promoters have gone against the order of the DRT to DRT, but still some receivers have been appointed, and all the showroom items are now in the control of receivers. So likewise, we have to take steps with regard to the size of the exposure, how many banks are there, what is our share, and what is the type of asset, and what is the demand in the market. All those factors have to be kept in mind. Thank you.
Rana, so you have any views on this?
Yes. As Joshi sir has told about it, it is perfectly correct.
Fine. My last question, you have?
Nivya.
I'll throw it open to the audience also. I know you have many things. There are many IPs also here sitting in the gathering. So, what are your expectations from the IPs as bankers?
Tricky question, sir.
No, see, I don't differentiate that. See, they are part of the system, and when we associate them, so they are they become our associate. Though they have a statutory recognition as a RP or IRP, whatever, try to sensitize RPs that see we are missing the timelines, or we should more focus on these areas. But one thing for sure I would like, and since this incentive scheme has also come, so I think this will also give some boost and this to the RPs. See, that marketing portion has to be substantially improved, because for any entity, may it be bank or the stakeholders or the RPs, the successful resolution is like a tag to all of us. So if we are able to find a resolution and in a time-bound manner, so nothing is more satisfactory than this.
सर पॉइंट्स तब मिलते हैं कि रेजोल्यूशन तो आगे और एनसीईआरटी में फंसा हुआ है प्लान 3 साल से
उसका देखिए पहला स्टेप तो ये यू हैव टू गो स्टेप बाय स्टेप, बिकॉज अनलेस द रेजोल्यूशन कम तो एनसीईआरटी में जाने का या कुछ होगा नहीं। जब भी एनसीईआरटी में चला जाता है देन एक्चुअली आरपीज आर द बेटर एसोसिएट्स और पर्संस हु गाइड अस दैट हाउ वी स्ट्रेटेजाइज so that the case also get resolved or decided by the NCLT very fast. Maybe because if the dates are not, I have seen RPs coming to me and saying that you don't worry, I will go to the chamber of the judge and I will request in person that this case is not being heard for say about 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and that has actually worked. So some out of box thinking and proactive measures has to be taken. Because see why? Because this is our collective ownership. So if you own the account, if you own the resolution part, so it is not like that one resolution and the things are over. Because whatever efforts you have made, I have made, that will truly have some bearing in the minds of bankers. And when they think of the RPs in the next assignment, these things play a major role.
What I would say, Madam, here I agree. The synergy between RP and financial creditors is must. Because continuous engagement and dialogue for bringing resolution, and the marketing as such, marketing for the particular corporator for bringing resolution is must. It should not be mere rituals. As per T1 plus this date we have to go for auction or we have to go for publication of this. Before that, we have to do homework properly, market for the prospective buyers. Based on that, there will be a success on the resolution of the corporator. Otherwise, we have experienced that in many cases that where simply there were instances that for selling of assets, only there is a paper publication and nothing is happening. So marketing of the asset is very essential for success of the plan.
See, I just highlight in one of the assets we auctioned 3-4 times, and it was not unsuccessful. Went through the entire CIRP, or lenders would have been easily successfully given to you under SARFAESI. And then the company executive told me that they were not aware. So, and in certain other CIRPs also, suppose say in X industry one resolution has not yielded anything, but in another resolution something has come, some plans. So I have spoken to those RAs also, and to my surprise they were not aware of the, so somehow we have to make all attempts to reach to the entities that are willing to come. So there can be a situation wherein at certain point of time one entity is not interested, but at certain other point of time they are interested. But still that marketing has to be there, and I believe if there is marketing it will pay.
I think Sir has addressed all the concerns on this, that the communication channel between the COC and the lender should be open and marketing strategy should be adopted. And as far as the aspect which Sir was highlighting, that between SARFAESI and resolution, the RAs prefer through the CIRP mode. I think that is one of the reasons, sir, what I have noticed in my case is that the RAs want everything on the clean slate thing. They don't want any statutory dues. They are aware that there are income tax dues and other statutory dues to be paid. And when they get under IBC, it is totally clean. And that is the reason they prefer, and they keep waiting, that will come under IBC, and also maybe even liquidation, so the price will further come down, and they'll. So the same strategy that they adopted previously, they are adopting. That is the only thing.
Do we have more time for the questions for the panel, or I suppose the time?
We can have some. But before we
Yeah.
ask any question, we have representation from private sector bank also. So Arunji, can you just join us for a minute? Yeah. He's from Axis Bank, and
Please.
I'm sure in JP Infotech, Axis Bank did not have any a different view, but ICICI Bank was always, differently, I would say, flowing from the COC. So what is your idea, PSU versus private banks? So do you have any different take on IBC or different experience as private bank in Axis Bank? We would like to hear from you.
So the primary difference, what I could think of as of now, the private lenders, they are more concerned about the resolution, and the PSU lenders are more concerned about the agencies who would audit the account later on. So I think that's the basic difference between the approach of two set of lenders here.
Yeah, so this auditing of accounts later on is not there in private banks?
And not so rigorously.
Okay.
But madam, regarding IHS Bank
Yeah.
history, what we understood, they played very strategically. If they become dissenting lenders, they will get more money.
Yeah. So that
Why?
is the reason
Yes.
ICICI only.
And second is, they will have the preferential treatment because they will get first before they will get the ascending lenders.
32, yeah, section 32.
But I think that that's the call we took in all the cases. So how much we'll get by ascending or descending. So that's the call we take in all the cases per se.
But in their case, actually, the successor resolution applicant, they have given them land parcels. Actually, they wanted cash. So they are still got just what I should say, paid or whatever.
No, sir, actually what has happened, the interpretation of this case landed up in Supreme Court. And Supreme Court then interpreted it and gave the order, wherein they said, yes, dissenting should get cash, but they said that they can also, whatever security interest they have got, they can realize those security interests. So anyway, whatever the thought process of at that time ICICI Bank was there, perhaps it couldn't come through because the case going to Supreme Court. And as we say that in IBC there are many matters which are now getting settled by the Apex Court, and this is one such case.
Anything
To
else?
also add something that my experience because I have also run so many IRP cases as IRP and other things. The one experience is that I was an IRP in the Cox and Kings, And Cox and Kings, when I was appointed as the IRP, there was the anguish for all that ticket buyers, the travel, those who have booked the tickets with the company. They said, now you are the person who has taken our money. Because the corporate debtors just take, now I can't help, because RP is there, you talk to the RP. My number, my mobile number has been circulated within a 24 hours from the Jammu to Calcutta to Kanyakumari, everywhere. And I used to get a call of around, I think, 300 to 400 calls every day. Aap mera paisa kab wapas kar rahe? Because now all the company, all the sales people and all the people, those who are operations people, everyone is given my number. Now, as if I have taken the money from the company. There is certain issues for the RP also, but there are certain issues for the bank. But nevertheless, there is certain good things happened by the IBC. One thing is that we have already discussed, it is one of the ways to restructure the company. It is not only the ways. Okay, still we have a SARFACI, still we have a CDR, still we have other processes also. This is one of the ways. It has been added. I'm not working as a RP, as a CEO of the organizations. I provide consultancy to so many corporate debtors. My experience is that there is a fear factor of the IBC to the corporate debtors. The people that before 2016, the attitude of the people, attitude of the corporate debtors, and today the attitude of the corporate debtors is different. They have at least fear factor. कल को मेरा case IBC में लेके जाता. The best advantages and the part is that since the IBC case has been accepted, there is no any trouble to take the company into the position of the RP. In case of the SARFACI, that position, taking the position is the biggest challenge. But I have not seen that taking the position of the company is the biggest challenge in the IBC. So that is the fear factor कि आज अगर मेरा company IBC में चला जाएगा तो कल से मेरा authorized signatory बंद. I can't even withdraw a single money from the company. That is the fear factors. So if you see, okay, I invest in the equity market also. The results of the bank, NPA accounts of the bank has been also reduced. Because the NPA, the portion of the NPA is reducing day by day. Not only because of the IBC, there may be some other provisions are also there, but the IBC has helped a lot. And in case of only not into the bank, other things, in case of the operational creditors also, the lawyers, the people, operational creditors taken IBC as one of the tool to recover their money. It was happening all over the things. But in India, I don't know, I have a limited knowledge for this. There are IBC is applicable to the corporates only, not for the partnership firm, not for the proprietorship. Proprietorship firm may be covered under to the individual insolvency process. That is also not very. But I think more than 50-60% business is also still runs in the partnership and proprietorship concerns. So where there is IBC is not applicable till date. It may be that tomorrow they may go for this, then there will be the different scenario. The professionals, IP professionals may get some more business because now all the corporate has been resolved, or bankers are not ready to take them in the insolvency. Only the worst part I have seen in the whole IBC process, operational creditors will take the company to the insolvency and he will just sit into the back seat, and bankers has to pay all the cost, and there is no asset in the company. That is the cases where is the big trouble to the bank, because the bankers, as we discussed, that bankers is not ready to, because they have also problem to pay the IBC cost, and there is no asset in the company, and bank has also very clear that there is no recovery is going to happen in that particular assets. That is the problematic area. I don't know, it may be the change in the future also, but this IBC is a good thing for the country, I can say. Once the cross-border insolvency bill is started, then again there will be the so many things can be resolved internationally. So this is my perspective for the IBC, and I really appreciate Anju Agarwal, Deepak Maini ji for organizing this seminar. I think it was a very, very interactive, and thank you very much for joining us. We'll try to organize this type of the seminars in a near future also.
Without any public holiday around.
Yes, without any public holiday around. And that's IT is waiting for all of us. So let's join for the IT, and thank you very much.